Hi guys, so in this video we're going to go over exactly how to program your CNC router using V5 Pro to draw a square effectively and skim your sacrificial board. The reason why you would want to do this is because there's too many grooves and your workpieces are probably starting to move a little bit. So let's get started. First thing you're going to want to do is create a new file, then set your job size to be the size of your bed. In my case it's 1210 millimeters. Your zero position needs to be material surface, and your XY datum generally the bottom left corner, and then hit OK. Then the next thing is you want to draw a square or a rectangle, depends what size your bed is, and just draw roughly the size of your bed, maybe a little bit bigger, and then set the actual size that you want it to be, which in my case is 1230 millimeters, slightly bigger than the bed, and 1230 millimeters for the height as well. Then just hit apply, you'll see it resize. Then you want to align the square to be the center of your material. So align to material, centralize it, then hit close. And then you're going to want to go to toolpath and select pocket toolpath. And then you're going to want to select your cutter. In my case, I use a 40 mil straight bit, but you could use 20 or 30 or even 60. It just depends what you have or what you want to use. Obviously, the bigger the cutter, the quicker you can do it. In my case, I'm going for 16,000 RPM and 2,500 millimeters per minute for the feed rate. The next thing you're going to want to do is just set your depth. 1 millimeter is fine. You might need to go deeper, you might need to go less. It depends on what length of depth your grooves are. And then you don't need to use large area clearance tool. Raster is the best, it goes vertically, 90 degrees, and you don't need a profile pass. The 90 degrees means that it goes up and down vertically instead of across horizontally. You also want to take ramp plunge moves at about a distance of 10 millimeters. This means that instead of just going straight into the material, it actually feeds in diagonally, as you can see here in this quick video. You can see it kind of moves down gradually and into the material. This is what you want. We'll show you the lines, which is just the toolpath that it's going to take. And then when you hit the play button, you can see the toolpath that it takes. So this is the raster at 90 degrees, meaning it goes up and down instead of across and back horizontally. So it goes the whole way across. You could also use the offset, which pretty much goes around the board. It doesn't really matter, but I think this way is probably a bit neater. So let's look at the tool. So it's a 40 mil bit. It's got carbide insert brazed in. It's a good job. This is pretty much all I use it for. Sometimes I use it for clearing large pockets, but most of the time just for skimming the bed. So for my spindle, I have ER25 size. So this is a 1/2 inch shank. So it's pretty good and solid. It's good practice just to keep your collets pretty clean and the nut pretty clean. You don't want any dust or as little dust as possible in around the little groove that it clicks into. When you're putting it into the machine, just get it started, holding the cutter in at the same time. The more you do it, the easier it gets, I guess. Just tighten it up in. You want to set the height of it to allow your spanner actually in. If you make it too tight, you won't be able to get it in. You won't be able to tie it. So just pull it out just enough, let your spanner in. You want your tool to be in as close as possible to the collet, as this means that it's more rigid, which means that your tool will last longer. It won't be as noisy when it's cutting. And I would pretty much do this with every tool I use. Keep it in as close as possible. So here we go. So it's just up and down, like we said, the raster path. And it just goes up and down the whole way. In my case, it probably takes about 10-15 minutes. A bigger cutter, it will take less. Smaller cutter, it will take more. But it's a good time to go and get a coffee or whatever you want to do. So remember, we started off with this. Lots of grooves. Work pieces moving all over the place. No good. Once we skim the bed, we end up with this. Perfect. This is when you're going to get maximum suction on your board. So if you have any worries about your part maybe going to move or your workpiece going to move, this is the way to go. Skim the bed. And remember guys, if you like what you see here and you want to see more, then just hit that subscribe button and hit the bell and you'll get notified the next time a video hits. And also, if you guys have any ideas on videos that you want me to do or any issues that you're having, then just add them into the comments please. Until next time, over and out.